she's pissing me off so badly.
And it's sort of blown out of proportion. And essentially, I was kind of reflecting on if that was sort of, you know, fair for the internet to sort of make fun of the 5% meme, or, you know, if it was kind of people.
No, you didn't. You weren't contemplating if it was fair for them to make fun of the. Why are you rewriting history, bitch? We all watched it. Why are you trying to rewrite history right now?
Well, not taking someone seriously.
Like, if 5% is worth a lot, imagine how much 45% is worth. Right?
Yeah,
like
no,
exactly.
It's all in relation to.
Yeah, and again, you know, like I said.
You're right, Neon. She's not a small content creator, whether she likes it or not. She's just small-minded.
My you know, former criticism still holds. It's sad that, you know.
No, it doesn't. Your criticism doesn't hold weight. Your criticism is like a fart in a thunderstorm. Useless.
A working relationship devolved in that way. But I also think that, like, you know, I think that, to me, my interpretation as a complete outsider is that, you know, she did see it as a business relationship, and that she wanted someone, a producer of some sort, to be there to advocate for her, to make specific choices.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not your place. It's not your fucking place. Why are you turning around and being like, well, you know, in my opinion, she did want this thing. Well, cool. She can want it all she wants, but who freaking cares? Like, it's not the direction that they were wanting to go in. Oh my God, I hate you so much. I bet she pays them 5% of what she makes. I think more like 0.5. I think you mean like 0.5, bro. There's no way this bitch is paying them 5%. They're like, seriously, if we think about it, right? Because this is her style of content, like these retrospectives and stuff are so monetarily and advertiser friendly for the most part. She's easily making upwards of 10 to 20,000, or like easily making like probably $10,000 a video or more. I would say probably $10,000 to $30,000 a video. And what is this? She produces a video almost monthly, almost every other month, or sometimes twice a month. So she's probably making an extra, I will top it off at 30,000 a month from this. And it's just, I don't know if she has another job, but she does have a husband. So I imagine he works too. So it's like, God, fucking, shit. Keem gets people to work for free. You never know. Yeah, exactly. Sunshine. That's what I'm saying.
I have talked about this on the podcast. When she mentioned she wanted a producer, I immediately told her to find someone and I would pay their salary.
Yeah, I mean, and
what do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, you literally just you oh my God, your whole point was that you were defending Trisha because she wanted to get a producer. Now you learned that Ethan said if she wants a producer, then all she has to do is find one and he'll pay for it. And your response is, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, yeah, bro, yeah, man. Oh, I hate you.
You know, again, I just wanted to
in the leaked conversations too that she leaked.
So I wonder, like, what is your actual criticism? Are you saying that you think it's a bad deal for a talent to show up to a show? All they need to do is just show up and get 45% of that show's earnings. That's a bad deal in your opinion?
So YouTube monetization, it all depends on what your Dan, it all depends on exactly like what like your content style is, right? Because like tech channels and stuff, they have a higher CPM than other channels. So it really just depends on what your CPM is. I don't think she has any. She just does not want to blame herself, even though she's script on her phone like she wrote it. You know, Congo, I would not be surprised about that. I do believe though that she does have a team. I honestly do believe she has a team of editors and writers. I don't think you could screw up this much on explaining what your video is if she didn't have outsourced help. That's literally what I think it is.
My thing is, I think that she wanted a full business relationship. She didn't want to be the talent. And you know, again, from the statement,
is that a criticism of me? I mean, that's what kind of how the business was started. By the way, she was treated as a full partner. I mean, whatever she wanted, she got,
exactly,
right?
So,
but it's not like she had plans to become an owner of the company, or like there wasn't. I don't know what you mean by that. That was not part of the discussion.
She called me Julie in the DMs, by the way.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. My you know, how would I say? I guess my question is, when these sort of collaborative projects are started, like Frenemies, are they treated like a business relationship, like a collaborative business relationship? So I think that's sort of how it was viewed. You know, again, I'm not Trisha. I can't.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
sort
of, you know, of me.
But that is why the earning is 45%. It's not like a flat fee of like, I don't know, $2,000. It's a lot more than that.
What's the criticism of me?
Exactly. What's the
Yeah,
criticism
so
of
again,
him?
reflecting on my former content that I made about frenemies, that was something that I felt like, okay, I could see Trisha's side of wanting a producer that could advocate for her.
She
I could
asked
see
for
her
it, and I
side
offered
of,
to pay.
yeah.
This comment
I'm
wasn't
glad to
even in
hear
the
that.
video, was it? You don't think you even talked about that in the
The
video?
producer, yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
did you mention that she wanted a producer?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that would be a good reason to have take 5% extra. If I was like,
Yep.
I'll hire them and I'll pay them. I'm paying my whole
And then the only
She
other thing
never
was,
invested any of her money.
Oh, yeah, I paid for the whole set and everything was like $50,000 that I never even asked.
And she's going to have no response to this. He's explaining to her that he literally paid for everything and she's not going to turn around and concede whatsoever. She's probably made anywhere from 2 to 5 million. Oh yeah, easily. I mean, if Locale Live with the numbers that they're pulling in viewers is making an easy $150,000 a year. I mean, Live was literally making like upwards of 50. Same with freaking Queens. Yeah, she's easily making millions. There's no doubt about that.
Asked for a penny from her for that.
And the only other thing was, I think a lot of people were laughing at 5% because it seemed like such a small amount in the grand scheme of things. As you said, 45% is a good cut. The reason, what I was trying to say is like, okay, if you're getting millions and millions of views, that 5% can end up being more than like what most of us would see, So
who's this us? What do you mean? What do you mean? That's more than most of us? Sweetie, you're not us. You're not us. Not like us, bro. What do you mean us? What do you mean us? Like, you've literally easily made over $1 million on your content. Why are you saying us? You are not like the rest of us. You have the liberty to do so much in your life because of the fact that your channel popped off the way that it did. You are not one of us. Oh my God. I even know Trisha made out with frenemies and literally did nothing but show up. Yes. That was the whole concept of frenemies, was that just to get her on there because they had tension. They were literally frenemies. Like, oh my God, this is annoying as hell.
I could understand how.
Yeah, but then
and
45%
also,
is worth that much more too.
Yeah, of course. And again, but I'm just trying to. Again, just look at that.
So you
because
changed basically
in my
since you
original
covered
video.
it.
So you're changing your opinion?
Yeah, it sounds like you changed your opinion. So when you made the Trisha video 2 or 3 years ago, you were very critical of her making it about the 5%, making about money. Sounds like since then you've changed your opinion, and now she was justified in making it about the 5%.
Well, again, I didn't look at that in my original video of just how much, like, again, 5% of, again, I don't know the specific numbers. I'm literally just spouting random numbers, but 5% of 100 million versus 5% of 100,000 can be different. Also, asking about
it's
whether
not 100 million.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm just saying random numbers. Also, a few points I'm just going to say really quickly. I am really glad that the employees got a raise. That was just also my other question.
But why would you assume, why would you assume that I'm fucking them over? Like, why would that
Exactly.
be the automatic assumption? Because I feel like I don't have to come out here. It's funny. If I came out here and was like, everybody's getting a raise and everybody's getting this and that, people would just accuse me of being performative. And it's nobody's business. I don't need to fucking air out their financial situation to anybody. So, like, why should I even have to come out here and talk about the financial? Why don't you just trust them to be here of their own accord in a happy financial situation? Like, why do I need to come out here and virtue signal for everybody how great of a boss I am?
Mm-hmm. I mean, again,
because it's exactly what she would do. It's exactly what she would do. That's the reason why. That is the entire reason, because she would virtue signal and utilize giving her employees a raise as her being this amazing arbiter of a person. And so she expects others to do it as well, to try and prove that they're good. That's literally what it is.
Even in this discussion, the 5% feels silly to argue about, but it was so highly debated over that's why I mentioned it, But what was I going to say?
I don't think you answered my question. So do you feel like it's a bad deal for a talent to get 45% of a show that they just show up to? They don't.
Yeah. So that brings up what I was going to say. I think that almost anyone would take that initially, and then I think when there becomes these big blowouts where you're sort of seen as the crazy one in a podcast, and then you get this huge wave of internet backlash. But these massive viral podcasts, and they're all on the H3 podcast channel. You're not essentially what I was trying to say is across the board, it wasn't just the frenemies episodes, but other videos as well that were seeing a huge boost in viewership. You were probably seeing a huge boost in subscribers.
What do you think was happening to her
large
views?
Audience.
Are you aware that before frenemies she had a podcast that couldn't even break 10,000 views? It was canceled by the podcasting network because it was costing them money. They weren't making any money. Her career was.
No, she didn't know this, Ethan. No, she didn't know this. She didn't do research. She keeps, as much as she loves to talk about needing to do research, she never did any. She took Reddit level talking points and went with it. That's her whole shtick. That's everything. That's her whole shtick.
Was fucking.
It was mutual.
It wasn't in a good place.
It was definitely mutual.
Should I own a piece of her fucking her media empire for putting a show on with her?
again, I think like it was just on, your channel. So I think over time.
Yes, Sunshinery. I mean, if you don't donate, if you don't tell us when you donate to homeless people, how are we going to know that you're a good person? Like, I don't want to be associated with somebody who just won't be, who is so unwilling to just tell me over and over again that they donated to the homeless. It's like, fucking hate this woman. It's all virtue signaling BS. That's literally what it is. It's all about optics. It's all about look at me. It's all about like just this blatant bullshit. And this is the problem. This is the absolute problem with these types of communities. They have to turn around and be like, I'm a good person. Notice me. I'm good. It's the same reason why why Valkyrie turned around and made her, or you know what's crazy is she made a fundraiser, like her apology video is now a fundraiser, and I guarantee you people are going to she's going to utilize the whole, well, it's a fundraiser video, why are you like criticizing me?
But we made it.
There can get that sense that, again, you're getting this huge wave of internet backlash. Another person's channel is skyrocketing. Feelings are, you're going to feel a certain way about that.
She made millions of dollars from that show.
That is not accurate to how things went.
Yes.
I mean, she got a huge spike out of it just as much as our channel did, and it was mutual.
Why did she get backlash?
And plus, if anything, for a talent to not even have to post anything, it kind of makes the deal even more generous. She didn't even have to post it anywhere. We posted it on our channel. She literally just showed up.
All the risk.
Like, show me another place that has a deal like that. I don't think you would find it.
Also, I have to correct you. You're talking about Trisha like she's the victim, but the reason she was getting backlash is because she was wanting to fire my entire crew and replace it with her.
Which is a company that she has no...
So, I mean, she's accountable for her own...
She did not invest in this company. She was not here the years before or after Frenemies. That was just so inappropriate for her to ask to fire the whole crew.
Yeah, and again, I saw a video where she suggested that she didn't want to fire the whole crew.
Yes, exactly, Congo. People like her fake being a leftist just for the clout. Like that's literally what it is. It's I care. It's a trend. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with actual morals or an understanding of what an issue is. It's all about I'm a good person because I think genocide is bad. Don't kill babies. Just hitting all the same points that anybody and everybody else has. Like it's not a hot take to turn around and say genocide bad, don't kill babies. I bet if you mention Chris to her, she would blow up and say something along the lines of wanting to kill you. Oh Christ, not Chris. I thought you were talking about Charlie Kirk. That's what I was thinking. That's who I thought you were talking about.
Chris, I'm watching these videos.
It's all on record,
listening to you.
I think it's all on record.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that. And for this, I did see multiple sources. Like I saw your video, I saw her video, I saw different. So
seems like not enough because even in this screenshot, you can see that Ethan says he wants to hook up the crew for extra work. And then that is in release text that she released at the time. So you would have had access to this information, for example.
But also, I says I was.
Not only that, but it's even worse. It's even worse if you did look into all of this information and you still decided to have a biased take and a biased account for how this went down. That's worse.
Wanting to hook up the crew for the extra work, but then your immediate reaction was he's not paying his crew extra, is he? Sorry to put a voice like that. I didn't mean to make you sound like that. That wasn't fair.
That was not my reaction.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, how everything was out. Again, the intricacies of this business relationship. It was an internet phenomenon. It's kind of fascinating years later to return to, and
it is very much an internet phenomenon.
I appreciate the clarification on those aspects. As far as, again, I think another aspect is the fact that it's on your channel. You guys do have more control over the situation. So I think that wanting a producer,
but who
would be able to advocate, maybe I don't know. Again, I cannot speak for someone else. I can't.
But you did. You tried to speak for somebody else. That's the issue. We know you can't speak for somebody else. We know you shouldn't speak for somebody else. The issue here, darling, is that you did speak for somebody else. That's the whole problem. It was literally the whole fucking problem.
Effort by snarkers and Trisha fans to kind of rewrite history a little bit.
Because that point only came up towards the end when things pretty much kind of blew up and the show never happened again. That was not like something that was building up. She wasn't regularly asking for a producer and not being met with the request. Like that is not something that was part of the.
Do you like Trisha? Are you a Trisha fan?
Yes.
Actually, I don't watch her show. I kind of got the impression that she did not like me from, showing the video in the back. And I feel bad about that, and I've reflected on my own content in that way. Again, that's why I think about these things and try to revisit it from that lens. But I also think that, again, I don't like that she shows her children in her content at all. Again,
you don't like that we show our children in our content too. That was another thing you raised.
Mm-hmm. And someone,
that we were hypocritical
went into my aunt's. Instagram page and showed a photo of my child that my aunt posted to try and say that I was being hypocritical, which I did not think. I thought that was so gross.
That's horrible. That's fucking horrible.
Listen, it sucks that happened to you, but it's all in your head. It's just like what you said about Ethan Klein. It's just your belief, your paranoia, sweetheart. It's your paranoia. No, nobody's out to get you. You're just crazy. That's all. You're crazy to be thinking that people posting pictures of your family online or, in some way, shape, or form trying to cause you harm. Why are you so paranoid? Cruel world. Why?
I really wish nobody would ever do anything like that. That's fucked up.
But yeah, I mean, again, that's just a consistent commentary.
I didn't tell anyone to do that. I mean, the opposite. And I'll tell people now, don't fucking do that. The whole point of this is to have like a productive and as much as we can, a civil conversation about this, right? Like, I just want people to listen to what we're saying and not take anything offline to her or her family. Like, please do not ever fucking do that on behalf of me to her or anybody.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think same here, obviously.
Yeah,
obviously.
No, and I believe you 100% on that, for sure.
Yeah, and and I think that if anyone does that, that's fucked up, and that's something that I'd make a fucking video on, I think that as far as I've made a lot of commentary on family channels and family influencers because I think that they've gone too far. And so I think that was as far as essentially a lot of the video was talking about how you guys are sort of legacy YouTubers. I think that's a good way to describe it, and so essentially seeing a lot of the issues that I talk about kind of be brought up in terms of like criticism against you both is just something that I talk about in the video because of that reason. But I don't know, are you guys freaking on the same level as family channels? No. Do you guys exploit your children in that same level? No. I think that would be hyperbolic.
I don't think we exploit our children at all. I mean, their appearances on our and our content has been minuscule. I mean, it's just, to the same level as even I'll say it's a little offensive.
You can probably count it on one hand the amount of times.
Yeah, and they've all been times where they were like really wanting to be involved. Or I'll tell you a large reason. You showed an image of Teddy coming up to me on the podcast. And the reason, at first I was like, no, don't come on. That's how I started. But I felt like it was creating a weird, I didn't want him to feel like there was some weird thing about and that he was doing something wrong by wanting to come up and.
I mean, general rule of thumb, it's bad to have your kids on your podcast, especially when you have so much, so many people who hate you and make it their life's mission to attack you. I'm not gonna go ahead and hate on Ethan for having his kids on there a handful of freaking times. That's not something I'm about to do. But it's like at the same time, this woman is wanting to cry about having people looking for like posting her kids and all that, but you post your kid online. Your Instagram has pictures of your children on there or your child on there. You're a public figure, so it's like you don't have when you are a public figure, you don't have the same level of protection. I mean, you absolutely should, but under the law, you don't have the same level of protection. So, like, how are you going to get on them for doing something that you yourself do? That's what I'm not understanding. You're over here trying to criticize them and imply that they're bad parents due to them having their kids on maybe 5 times out of how many years of content. I can't get behind you. I can't get behind this notion. Bad to have the kids on your content. I agree. But this isn't like some Ace Family BS where their entire content is their kids, This isn't a toy channel where they use their kids for views. This is like offhanded moments in time where something happened.
And say hi to me, or just there was like a very strange boundary there that wouldn't make a lot of sense to a kid. So instead, I decided on for their benefit. To treat it more natural. Like if they're here in the studio and they want to come say hi, I let them do it instead of making it a weird, awkward thing where they are confused and they feel like they did something wrong. You know what I mean? So that was a conscious decision as a parent to do what I thought was in their interest.
I mean, obviously, I'm lucky where, I make edited content. There's been a time where, my child was about to go to bed and wanted to say goodnight and, went to say goodnight. And then I was able to edit that out of a video because, I was in the middle of filming. At the same time, I'll be completely honest, 100% honest about my personal.
But that's pre-edited content. They do this shit live.
Opinion on this. you know, because I make commentary on a lot of family channels, and I've seen a lot of fucked up shit where people use their children for, you know, people, you know, there's a lot of creepy people on the internet, you know, anyone can see your children, you know, so that's one aspect of why I care a lot about, you know, children not being seen online. I also think that, you know, until children are of age, they just, you know, don't have the cognizant ability to really consent to what's being shown or produced of them. Anyone, you know, can take a clip of that, and, you know, as Happened said. Sorry, what?
Sorry to cut you off. Do you work with this person, Content Crash Out?
No.
Because you use this clip from their page.
Hassan Piker has lost all of his marbles. The Mueller brothers are gone, people.
Okay.
And you actually, I saw you left a comment saying that this person was a good, reputable source. Have you seen their content? Do you know how deranged and anti-Semitic and obsessive and concerning it is? Like, they're probably one of the most deranged, concerning, obsessed snarkers in the game right now. And you co-signing that is really, really, really not cool. I can show you their content if you haven't reviewed it. She hasn't reviewed it. Would you like to see it? I mean,
yeah, sure. I mean, because you know, to be honest, me making a general statement right now about another person's page, I can't really.
By the way, here's the
So you recognize that you're making a general statement about this person's page, calling them a reputable source, and yet you don't even know what their content entails? Are you kidding me right now? Are you serious? Are you absolutely serious? Dude, this woman is a fucking joke. An absolute joke. I seriously hope that she needs to lose as many subscribers as possible. This is pathetic. It's absolute asinine. All you did was pander to a group of people in the hopes that you'd be able to ride the anti-Ethan Klein wave, and instead got eaten alive by your own audience because I hate this woman so much.
So this is the video you used.
Piker has lost all.
If you go to the comments, you'll see he's so far gone. Yikes, what's happening? Did he dye his hair? Yeah, obviously that was for a bit. I have a very obvious drug addiction, right? I watched this man for 5 years, and John Mulvaney fan, who, by the way, was, I think, an alcoholic, or I don't know what, he had a drug addiction. But if you look through this, the obvious insinuation is that I'm on drugs. So to include this clip, again, is to accuse me of taking drugs.
Because of his tics.
I do think that is
because of a neurological disorder that I don't have control over.
That manifests in sniffing sometimes, or different clearing the throat, whatever it is.
I'll also say, before this snarking phenomenon, I went my whole life with people being super understanding and caring, and like never weaponizing that or making me feel other for that, until I met these snarkers who now have used it, including Anissa and this guy here especially, who have used it as a point of criticism. My neurological disorder I was born with that I can't control, that has been a huge obstacle in my life. Sitting in front of a camera with this is participating in the weaponization of a truly debilitating neurological disorder I've got, right? And I've never been the victim of this. I would never even, imagine of accusing someone of being ableist when it comes to me. But you truly are participating in an ableist harassment campaign that presupposes that my uncontrollable neurological disorder, Tourette's, is the result of drug abuse.
I mean, first I want to say I'm really sorry about that, that, people have been weaponizing that and that you feel that way.
Well, you weaponized it.
And that you feel that way? Oh, come on.
And this is, I guess, where I do feel like sometimes the use of this idea that using from one source could be essentially a thought terminating cliche. I want to ask, do you think that me using a clip from something is co-signing whatever is on that clip?
Yes. If you are using a clip as a source, if you are utilizing a clip to make an opinion or to say or imply something, then yes, I 100% believe that that's what you're doing, that you co-sign what it is that they're saying in the video. How do you not understand this? Like, what is wrong with your brain? What is going on here, dude? How do you not comprehend? You're literally sourcing them as a reputable information, and you're trying to turn around and be like, well, guys, I mean, does that really mean that I co-sign what they said? Like, come on, does it? Guys. I despise her too. She's so fucking dumb.
Right?
All of the, you know what I mean?
Depends what's in the clip.
Sometimes I could be using that clip
unedited footage,
different context.
or are using a clip that has a clear editorial perspective. Because if you are using a clip with a clear editorial perspective, then you're obviously co-signing the footage if you're not correcting it, right? If you're just like, you can source from snark. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, right?
Because what I've tried to say through the video is this is what online commentary is that, does that mean I'm co-signing that online commentary automatically if I do that?
If you don't, go on to add another opinion of your own, like, this is what people are saying, but of course it is baseless, or, people are throwing crazy accusations.
You did co-sign it literally in the video. You did, literally. in the setup to that clip, you literally co-signed it.
If you just use it without any critical explanation, then yes, you are.
Like imagine I'm going to use
how you use it.
I'm going to use something really hyperbolic, right? So forgive me, and I'm not accusing of this, but imagine if I wanted to make a point about socialism and nationalism, and I really wanted to impart the importance of that. And in doing so, I pulled up a clip of Adolf Hitler. And again, pardon the extremity of it, but I don't criticize it. I just go, this is a great commentary from Adolf Hitler about the need for social cohesion and nationalism and socialism. And I think that we can all draw from. And I don't give any, and I'm just like, here's Hitler, right? He's making a great point. I mean, clearly people would see that as a clear endorsement of Adolf Hitler, right?
Exactly.
You wouldn't be like, you know, hey, I didn't endorse the guy. Like it would clearly be an endorsement of Adolf Hitler for me to
but
just...
Again, it's, you know, as opposed to, I can't use that same example, but I'm trying to think of a similar example to use because but you know, if it's someone has said this, here's a clip of this being said, or people.
No. That's not what it is, though. You're saying that this is something, and then you're trying to back it up with a clip. Yes, you can sit there and be like, oh, well, I'm just saying this is what other people are saying. But you literally left a comment on the dude's video saying that you sourced them as a good, well-researched person. Like, I don't understand where you're misunderstanding this. You're saying that this person does excellent research. So why are you trying to combat and argue when they're like literally saying that you're using them and utilizing them as a source of or claiming that they're a reputable source? Like you're backing them. That's literally what you're doing.
Became concerned of this behavior, this type of behavior. Here's a clip of this. You know what I mean? It's not the same as kind of the example that you just said.
But you never
you
never insert another opinion or an opposing opinion. So it seems like you're agreeing with it. If your whole video is siding with that one side, even though you're saying that's what the internet is saying.
Again,
there's many on the internet that are saying the other thing, but you're ignoring that.
Mm-hmm.
So
you showed a clip implying I'm on drugs, and then you didn't say anything else. Like, of course you're co-signing it. Why else are you showing it?
Snark is a minority. Our audience does not think that Ethan is on drugs.
I mean, nobody of sane mind thinks I'm on drugs.
I don't think you're on drugs either. But again,
But that's your problem, though. You're claiming right now that you don't believe he's on drugs, yet multiple times throughout the fucking video, the 3-hour-long video, you constantly were insinuating that he was on drugs, or you were showing clips and videos of other people who have or do insinuate that he's on drugs. What is the failure to comprehend here? Where's the failure to launch?
You're conveying to your audience that I am maybe on drugs.
The point of the video is to show the sort of essentially your reaction, the online reaction. I think where I went wrong, is I think that I could have dove further into that.
You didn't know why the clip was there.
Yep.
I think
so. She said she didn't know why the clip was there. Then she turned around and said that she's not going to comment on the editorial choices of her editor. Then she said that she herself sourced the clip. So she's just been wrong, or she's just been ass backwards this entire fucking conversation.
I think I could have dove further into that. Some of the legal aspects that are going on currently. Kind of showing your response, their response, things that are happening. I brushed over that as well. Kind of saying that kind of the very start of that and not further going into that. So I think I should have gone further into that as well. Essentially, my intention was this is what's happening online.
But you didn't show what's happening in our community.
Exactly. I should have. Okay. I also agree with that too. Especially for that particular section.
More concessions.
I do think that there are a lot of times when I include H3 Productions or r/H3 Productions posts, but to essentially show same thing when I show opinion pieces, I should try to show, especially with something so contentious and divisive as this topic, I should show two sides. But again. Also with that idea of there's no way to be unbiased. If I feel like can I put myself.
You could easily be unbiased. I don't know why you're saying that there's no way to be unbiased. You can cover something and not have to have any bias to it whatsoever and strictly report on the facts. And if you can't find something that proves the information that's out there, just simply turn around and say, look, this is the current sentiment or this is the current belief, but there is no, hard evidence to imply this to be the case.
In this rabbit hole where I'm just endlessly trying to be unbiased and I'm putting up just, you can sort of pinhole yourself into where you're trying to provide every single side.
Yeah, but you didn't even come close. That's not a problem that you're close to brushing on.
Your words don't match the action. It doesn't. You're saying you're endlessly trying to be unbiased and you haven't tried once.
Yeah.
You haven't tried once in this video to be unbiased. It's just the words that you're saying sound great, but the action is
I do think, I don't think that's entirely fair either. I don't think that's entirely fair either with this video.
Fuck you. Fuck you. That isn't a completely fair retelling of your video.
I think that there's many times that I do try and look at your side, and I think that's a mischaracterization. Either you didn't watch the full video, or that's kind of
what? What? You're gonna accuse Hila of not watching the entire video? They're literally showing you your clips of your own video. Why do you think they're doing that? Do you think they're doing that due to the fact that they didn't watch your video? Are you kidding me right now? That's the game you want to play. I don't think you watched the entire video. Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Do you remember a specific moment in your video?
I think iDubbbz, the iDubbbz situation is is one of the most prominent ones in my mind. I essentially
we can pull
agree
it up.
with your
I'm
point.
curious what that looks like. Can you tell me a specific sentence so we can search the manuscript?
Yeah, I mean,
or just like a word?
I could go off of my research
part?
itself.
Oh yeah, you can do
let
that.
Let me know when I need to put on the.
You want to put on the lights? You can. You still look fine, but you can put on the lights. You want to? You know what? I really need to pee. If you want to take like a quick break and to adjust the lights or something, but also you look fine too.
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell like what it would look like, but it is, the sun's going to set in like probably 5 minutes.
So you want to take a moment to turn on the lights and I'll run to the bathroom?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to skip.
So yeah, Dan, how
about them Dodgers?
We're going to ski up for him to come back.
Watch this one.
That's been going on and what I'm going.
Hold on. Where did he go? Come on.
Very shiny because I'm sweating and oily.
Yours is way too crunchy. I can't eat this.
Okay.
Shout. You said, I appreciate you. As you probably know, I've been following your page and sourced from you. I believe mostly the Palestine and Downward Spiral chapters. Appreciate your coverage greatly, you said. Now this person is singularly obsessed with me and Hila.
You know, Tim's, she's been doing everything in her power to not answer a question this entire debate. Like, this entire debate has just been her being like, well, yeah, kind of, I don't want to, like, it's been literally the entire fucking debate is her just not wanting, just tiptoeing through the window all around these accusations so that nobody knows.
And specifically,
I hate her so much. I absolutely hate her so much. I hate creators like this. I hate people who think that they're like, just because like they just don't have the ability to freaking to just be like, yeah, you know what, I'm an idiot. And it's, you have to make up so many different excuses, and that's what it is. She's talking in circles in the hope that she can do that long enough for them to just forget what the problem was
about my Jewishness and like deranged conspiracy theories of the most obscene order. So
yeah, I mean,
do you agree? So you follow this person closely?
So I would say that, again, the videos that I sourced from them were not, again, I can't speak to what you feel like are really offensive videos. Sorry, not to say what you feel like, but I feel like, again, I haven't seen all of their videos to know.
Okay. I just confusing because you said, I've been following your page and source from you. I guess, yeah, sure. Maybe you didn't see all their videos by that.
Yeah, like the reason why I said that is I feel like on TikTok you can probably see when a creator like saves a video, So I just felt like they could probably see that,
So you saved the video, though. You said the editor put it in.
The one that, again, I wasn't sure about the zoom in, whether that came from
that was in their video. That was from the one you downloaded.
It's identical. It's from this video.
Yeah, no, exactly. So what I was going to say is I wasn't sure if that came from an editor, but now looking at it, it's clear it came from this page itself. So what probably happened is, again, I added a timestamp. It's okay. Added a timestamp into my script. From that, I saved it, added it in. So yeah, it was.
Is this where you heard that Hila called babies terrorists? Because this person also
at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Yeah. So again,
are taught to kill us at 2 years old.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Do we have that one?
Like Kamala. That's not really a fair edit.
To be completely and totally honest, there was multiple pages and sources that have shown that clip.
Yeah, I believe that.
Multiple sources.
Yeah, multiple sources. How much you want to bet that she counts every single link to the H3 snark as a new source? How much you want to bet that's the case?
And that's where it's hard, again, going to the original source, because
do you see how many videos this person's made about me? Does this look healthy? Honestly, if you're sourcing from them, I'm concerned. Like literally, can you see all these?
Specifically that video that you saved and included in your video, just like scroll through the comments. All the comments are about how Ethan is a drug addict. And specifically that zoom on the tattoos, there are comments about it. Is that from scratches? Is that from injections of drugs? Like, that is in the comments. So it's interesting to me that you chose to save that video and include it.
Oh, this one they're calling Hila a Nazi for getting a Star David tattoo. Watch this one.
Going on and what I'm going through, I almost feel like I want to do it the most in-your-face possible way that I can, and I feel like I kind of want to tattoo a blue Star David on my hand.
Blue. Have you showed this on the show that you got the Star David?
Not yet. Today's my first time. The comments were very interesting. We got lots of mixed reviews.
Mixed reviews. You guys have called me a Nazi.
So what?
To be 100% fair, you guys have called me a Nazi.
Well, we can get into that if you want.
Okay, but there's a massive difference between you, who has utilized Nazi talking points, like how a Jewish person was programmed from birth to like have this disillusion of the world, and then being hyperbolic about it. Okay, massive freaking difference there.
If you want to, we can definitely get into it. And I mean, one of the reasons that I called you that is something you edited out of the video, which was you said that I was imparted at birth with Israeli ideals and indoctrinated at birth as an American Jew. That's fucking insane. That's like super offensive, deeply anti-Semitic. So obviously, are you a Nazi? No, but like my point was that was an extraordinarily anti-Semitic view to hold. Something that's very popular amongst Nazis, neo-Nazis, American neo-Nazis, etc.
Which I would love to have a conversation about that. As far as this page goes, I think that again, going back to my point of wanting to cover what is the internet saying, but I do think, again, because funny enough, my neighbor is a journalist and a writer, and we're talking about this and essentially how online forums, you should stay away from in general, if you want to sort of have good coverage. So I think that was really positive.
You can use online forums. You don't have to stay away from online forums, bro. You just have to fucking, if you're good. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's like doing a documentary on the Civil War and only getting the South Side. And like doing a retelling of the Civil War, claiming to be unbiased and just being like, yeah, I don't know what it is. All these blacks just wanted freedom and they were taking their property. The war of Northern aggression and all that. Oh my God. How does that work if he grew up in America? So he grew up, he was born here in America, but he has taken he did turn around and take a trip over there to Israel and lived there. And Hila's family lived in Israel lives in Israel, and she, I believe, was born there and grew up there. And so that's what they're saying.
Conversations sort of about this. I do think that again, it's hard when it comes to covering internet situations, though, because you can't. She was kind of talking about, as a journalist, how often she goes directly to a source. How does that translate online?
You didn't reach out to me.
We have hours and hours and hours of footage every week. Like,
but also you didn't reach out to me when you were
all the sources are on the internet, and as well as, for example, the trace.
Exactly, and that's the part that's gonna bite her in the ass. All the information is literally online. She claims to love research so much, yet she couldn't spend the time to go and look for the opposition of what one idea was and what one wasn't. So that's the problem here. Why is she doing that? Who knows? I don't.
Racial fallout, it was all documented. Like pretty much all the stuff you're talking about are stuff that are online available.
But also, you didn't reach out to me once during the making of the video.
Yep.
Again, so as I'm moving forward, but I mean, let's talk about the likelihood of like how likely would you have responded. In the past, I've sort of written it off as like
he's literally done it before. He has literally done it many times before. You even showed a clip of him and Hassan being on a freaking panel and debating their ideas. What do you mean? What's the likelihood of him being willing to do that? You showed him doing it. Like,
people are not going to respond if I reach out to them for comment.
So you don't try? I mean, it sounds like when you started talking. It sounds like when you started talking about it that you're doing a video about us. Some of our friends were also your friends, and they even made a post about it. So it was very much doable, actually.
The
word got around. The word got around to our subreddit, which we do check regularly.
I mean, I understand your point, though. I think a lot of creators probably either wouldn't see it or wouldn't respond. So understand what I understand, like in general.
To be honest, though, that is something that I could have done, is reached out to someone for an opinion piece, one-on-one messaging, that kind of thing. That being said, as far as online opinion pieces, online sort of edits that are sort of very clearly opinion based or that kind of thing, I should base my if I want to include that in the first place, I should sort of base my research all on original sourcing, and then sort of go through and add, okay, this person, this online comment feels this way, include that. This person feels this way, include that.
Or just not include it at all. How about making a video that literally is based in facts and not opinions or feelings? How is that? Why is that such a difficult thing? I'm not understanding. Why do you need to include people's freaking think pieces? Why do you need to include people's opinions? I'm not exactly what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of you making that a thing?
That's sort of my conclusion from the matter. I think that's kind of, but that was my intention with that, is showing, online commentary and online clips. A lot of times when I included this person, it's not like, this is what happened. I mean, at least that's what I hope it was. I mean, I can look through and do a, 100% review, but it's like, okay, this is the commentary happening online,
so, I want to finish this because I just want to finish this video, this one here, with the Star David tattoos.
Jessica Klein reposted comparing a keffiyeh to a swastika.
I mean, clearly people were very supportive because it had a lot of likes and it did well on the subreddit.
I don't know what my sister retweeted. I find it weird that they're including what my sister does on social media.
To see people are encouraging, not backing down and embracing your identity.
Yeah.
Someone now got a worse tattoo than Ethan. I mean, that's kind of funny.
Can I ask something?
I just want to finish the clip.
Could have gotten this tattoo at any time, but chose to. Yeah, of course you get a tattoo when you feel like you want to express pride in your heritage. Now's the best time to do it. I would absolutely do it too.
What the fuck is this?
I don't even.
Branded satellite shows Star David carved into Gaza.
Kind of a different way to do it.
I mean, it's none of your.
What's that have to do with
your business when I want to do a tattoo of my heritage? How is that anything that you should even have an opinion on? Yeah, I'm changed after October 7th. That was a really traumatic moment for all of us Jewish people.
Congrats on the tattoo. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, if you go to the comments, I miss when Hila didn't talk. Racist, lol. I'm so embarrassed I ever watched them. Being Jewish is not a race. That's, by the way, not true. And also, another Nazi talking point. The line's not being straight. I mean, whatever. It was hand-drawn. Everything she goes through equals Vanilla Mace not liking her fashion brand. Hila Klein, please tell us what the blue signifies. The star... It signifies the color that the Star of David is, like in art, traditionally since like thousands of years. A pentagram would have been more fitting. A pentagram. That's like, the Star of David is like the cross for Jews, right? It's the same type of thing. This person said she should have got a pentagram instead of the Star of David. And then you went on to write on this person's account that you support them and you source them and you're a fan of their work. Yep. Do you disavow content crash out?
No, she's not going to disavow it. 100%. No, don't disavow, because you know what? You might need them in the future. You might need that crowd in the future.
I mean, again, I don't agree with that particular video.
That particular thing. No, I don't agree with that particular issue. I don't agree with that specific one time that they said something.
Ever. Even someone who's capable of making such a video is clearly deeply unwell. Like, to accuse a Jewish person of doing something wrong by getting a Star David tattoo is just a symptom of someone who's deeply, deeply, deeply unwell. So I mean, this is not a good person, right? Like, can you admit that?
I think that in general, I am still learning a lot about anti-Semitism. I've learned a lot.
Oh, guys, I haven't reached the proper age yet to understand what is and isn't anti-Semitic. Come back to me when I'm 32. Get out of here, dude.
Within the past few days, speaking on the topic, I feel wildly uncomfortable. I am learning a lot about it.
This person is anti-Semitic, and take it from me as a Jewish person.
Even this statement alone is so incredibly frustrating, considering you just made an hours-long video about Ethan and I. We talk about anti-Semitism so much.
It's the reason why.
It's the reason why all of this is happening.
Can I offer? So I did write a little bit of something just because I feel like I don't want to misspeak or anything.
Oh my gosh. I brought my pre-edited and looked over viewpoint. Do you mind if I just use that right now and go on a massive diatribe that has nothing to do with what you just asked me and are grilling me on?
On this sort of subject, at least this is coming from, my perspective. Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. At least for me, like, the biggest lesson I learned from all of this is, sorry, I'm going to kind of read a little bit because I
go ahead.
Damn it, my controller.
So, if I care about advocating for anyone, whether it's someone, is facing Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, transphobia, homophobia, anything at all, it's to extensively read up on the current state of affairs and what they're currently facing. It's, not just like using a blanket term like stop Islamophobia, don't be anti-Semitic, but so that I can offer in detail understanding of what an individual is currently facing and how that may
This is all wonderful word salad, but you didn't do any of this in your video. You didn't do any of this in your video. Why? Like, this doesn't do anything to help you. This does nothing for you. You never did anything of this degree in your video. So why are you trying to use it as if it's like some sort of thing that you've always done? Like, I understand if you're saying this is what you're going to try and do going forward, but it's a little too little, too little too late, as the saying goes.
Translate in various ways. I think that in general, as a content creator, I wanted to, to be completely honest, it's a really intimidating topic to jump into for obvious reasons, all of this. And especially, as we can see with everything that happened after releasing the video and just not being versed in it, not having a cultural background or understanding, not being Palestinian and not being someone who's,
But you don't have to have a cultural background to understand this. You literally can research. That's the whole reason Google exists. You don't need to be Palestinian to understand what's going on in Palestine. The internet is this amazing, wonderful tool. Like, what is this misunderstanding? Like, you're saying what? Just because you're white, you can't understand what's going on? Use the Google. Use the Google. It's there for a reason.
Extensively versed, but wanting very, very deeply to advocate for Palestinians and everything that they're going through. I feel like there's many ways that I misstep along the way. But I think that being able to do that, really, okay, I want to advocate for these people. What are they currently facing today? How can I, really offer in-depth dialogue to that, so that can kind of combine research and empathy. I know Dan spoke about how I misuse empathy, or sort of, use that as a blanket term. And I think that's maybe one of the ways that I can do that better, instead of just being like, at the beginning of the H3 video, any anti-Semitism will not be tolerated. And, speaking about Islamophobia, but not very, very much in-depth understanding how that's translating in modern day currently. So I think that when all of this happened and I made my follow-up video, I was feeling very hurt and confused by, essentially being thrown the label of being anti-Semitic. I think that
you didn't like it when you were being labeled something that you knew you weren't, and people just didn't have, like, you felt like people should have done more research into who you were as a person and as a content creator. Is that what you're saying? You're saying that you don't like people making judgment calls based off some other person's opinion on you? Wow. You're the only one. You're the only one in the world. It would really be nice if people did that. Too bad you decided to make a 3-hour video against Ethan Klein doing that exact same thing. God damn.
Of course I can't, a lot of that's coming from my own ignorance and my own lack of depth and knowledge, and, not being a Jewish individual, not growing up in that. I grew up with no religion, no religious background. My dad was raised Jehovah's Witness. My mom was raised Catholic. Oh my God, who the hell cares? Decided to raise me without any religion.
Who cares? You don't need a religious background. You don't need a religious background to understand that some people are going through an oppression or a genocide. You don't need somebody to turn around and like, what exactly are you, like, most religions were born out of a freaking genocide themselves. Are we like forgetting about the whole, the Christian raids? Are we forgetting about the whole, like, the Crusades? Are we forgetting, like, sorry, mommy and daddy didn't raise me in the proper religion to understand that killing people is bad. What is this? What type of an excuse is this?
Religion. I've heard a lot of horror stories from my dad about his particular family and his particular upbringing in Jehovah's Witness. And so from that, I also have my own preconceived notions of, just a lot of religions in general, which may not be fairly placed all the time. But yeah, I don't want to speak for others, but I think that there's a lot of people that do want.
Remember, she wrote this down. This is her thought out, pre-written response.
Want to criticize the Israeli government and their actions, but feel lost on how to do so without being labeled anti-Semitic.
That statement on itself, you said that about me.
And about, in fact, I the Israeli government.
I had a real issue with that statement.
Is it okay if I finish really quick?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know it's kind of long.
You're good. I didn't realize you were. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So
Ethan thought she was just rambling. Ethan literally thought that she was just rambling on and that she was done reading, and that she was just randomly talking at this point. That's hilarious, because it literally sounds like that's what it literally sounds like that's what's going on here. That she's just rambling. She's just word salad, just good old word salad, in an effort to try and get you to not like think critically about what she's saying. I hate this so much. I hate her so much. Fuck your response.
There were a lot of people that there's some really kind people who sent me messages educating me on either side and things that I got wrong on either side of the situation, which of course it should have been my job to do in the first place, but one thing I learned a lot about is the dual loyalty trope, and where it's seen as anti-Semitic to scrutinize someone's connection to Israel. And I can see that because it's a holy place for many Jewish individuals. That being said, I think a lot of people who, at least for me, that was, I don't want to talk about like, my personal life or anything, but even being around Jewish individuals, that was not something that was ever told to me or taught to me. Not that, again, that is anyone's job to teach anything to me, but so.
Then why are you saying it? Why are you using it as an excuse? If you know it's nobody else's job, it's your responsibility to be educated in this matter. Why are you saying this? What's the point then? Like the whole thing just sounds like, oh, boo-hoo, nobody held my hand. Nobody told me that, I need to shade this thing in an effort to not be stepping on anybody's toes. Wham. Like, it's your responsibility. You are the content creator. You're the person with this who, for some reason, wanted to turn around and make this video. Like, nobody forced you to do this. Nobody told you to do this. You're not like you weren't pressured into making it.
So again, trying to navigate this current climate and trying to sort of raise awareness, be pro-Palestine, speak about the genocide. I unknowingly bumped up against that, and spoke about that in a wrong way. If I was aware of that, I would have never spoke about that, just because I care about, not being anti-Semitic, and I care about that. I don't know about
That's good.
others, but I do think that there's a lot of people who are pro-Palestine who are kind of maybe in the same boat as me, who aren't aware of that, and then are being kind of being told that they're anti-Semitism and maybe put on the defense because of that, and aren't aware that there's that particular nuance to this conversation, maybe.
Well, one side clearly gets a lot more defense and explanation online than the other. But specifically, I'm going to play this clip because I felt the way that you said this was interesting.
I am most hurt about the claims of anti-Semitism.
Oh, yeah. I'm so hurt about the claims of anti-Semitism because that's not who I am. But at the same time, you had all the time in the world to do this research. You weren't on a clock. Nobody told, were you going to lose? Do you feel like you were going to lose subscribers if you didn't do this? Like, I'm not exactly sure what the issue is here. Why?
I've mentioned time and time again, I'm just not well versed in politics. I would really like to understand how one can be pro-Palestine, speak about the disagreements they have with the Israeli government, and still not be seen as anti-Semitic.
No, I called you anti-Semitic for one very specific statement you made. It had nothing to do with Israel.
Yep.
You conjuring that image to people, it's really fucked up because people use it. But hold on, there's more.
The ways in which Ethan talks about the issues, he makes it seem like that's not possible. A lot of that
you say
likely due to October 7th, and essentially Ethan having an intense cognitive dissonance.
An intense cognitive dissonance. Not only is she a terrible freaking YouTube, not only is she absolutely ass at research, but you know what you can get with your complete defamatory 3-hour video? A free diagnosis, a free mental evaluation by this broad.
Reminder, she started this off by saying, I'm way out of my depth with this, so I shouldn't.
I'm very curious to hear
now she's going to lecture me, right, about my reaction.
Yeah.
To October 7th.
Him being, living in Israel, upholding these, Israeli values.
What are they?
Israeli values.
What Israeli values?
And ideals that have been sort of programmed into him from when he was born.
Okay, you're Nazi.
When he was
you're
born?
Like a fucking,
he wasn't born.
Yeah, she was crying in her in the live stream, that her first ever live stream that she did. She was crying in it because people were calling her anti-Semitic. Boo hoo to her poor fifis. Oh no.
Hey, first of all, I don't think you're a Nazi, right? I'll amend that because I was being hyperbolic. What I meant is you're saying stuff that Nazis say, and obviously I also fully acknowledge that you don't know that what you're saying is anti-Semitic, right? Like totally agree with you there. And I know you already addressed this stuff. You kind of already rolled this stuff back, which is good. The part that I wanted to ask you about.
Talks about the issues, he makes it seem like that's not possible.
How did I make it seem not possible?
Yes, and I guarantee you she doesn't have an answer. She won't have an answer to this because all she's doing is going off of Snark and the people on Snark who turned around and made claims that Ethan would berate and brigade your content, your channel, if if you make a video on him.
To talk about Israel without being accused of being anti-Semitic, because I never one time brought up anything being anti-Israel being an issue. The only thing I brought up is that statement you just saw, which had nothing to do with Israel. So like, why even say that? Because that's an extremely popular trope that you'll hear, is that Jews are like perpetual victims and they call you anti-Semitic for any old reason, no matter what. I criticize Israel, they call me anti-Semitic. I'm constantly seeing Jewish voices being marginalized for saying that, right? But here's the interesting thing is I didn't even come close to saying anything like that.
I hate that these freaking instances with people trying to come after Ethan Klein has forced me to learn so much about the freaking Palestinian conflict that I honestly otherwise just don't give a damn about.
And you still said it.
Genocide bad. Yes, that's it. Enough said. Thank you. Welcome to my TED Talk. Genocide bad.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think I watched the full live and genuinely was trying to understand, okay, where did I go wrong? You know, like what was, anti-Semitic? And again, it's not necessarily your job to educate me, but I was, trying to understand how can I, criticize Israel, be pro-Palestine, speak about the genocide. And
it's not that complicated though, is it? It's really not.
I guess, and I would like to hear your perspective. Again, like I said, I did.
He literally just gave you his perspective. He literally just gave you his perspective on it. He literally just gave you his perspective on it, you dumb broad. Just fucking, all you have to do is listen. All you have to do is listen to him. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard.
Received some, to be honest, I received after that live mass comments, messages. Sorry, I fucking hate when I get emotional.
You can take a moment. It's okay.
And here we go. She's going to start the waterworks. It's coming. She's going to get all crybaby.
It's emotional. I understand you care about being on the right side of things, right? So I 100%.
No. Yeah. She wants to be on the side of the people that she believes are going to win or are winning. She does not care about being on the correct side. She cares about being on what she perceives to be the winning side.
That, I understand, and I know this is painful.
Amount of people calling me a Nazi, and
that's not true, by the way. And I don't want people to call her a Nazi. Okay.
And so, I was trying to understand. Sorry, I fucking hate when I cry. I'm not trying to
It's fine. No, I know. It's sincere.
It's fine. We're all just people here, and
so genuinely, here I'm acknowledging I'm not, I'm trying to be more educated, grow. I'm starting from ground zero, and I think I'm hoping that a lot of at the very least, a lot of content creators can learn from my mistakes. When speaking about this, and be able to.
Yeah. Her vote is worth the same as mine for some reason. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. Oh my God. Yeah. She's really crying. She's really crying about this, which is absolute insanity. Like, how in the world, how the hell are you going to be crying over this, man? You attacked this dude. Unprovoked, you attacked him, and for some reason we're supposed to turn around and be sorry for you. We're supposed to turn around and be like, oh no, you poor thing, I feel so bad for you because for reasons, because you're getting a minuscule amount of hate in comparison to what it is that Ethan Klein and his family has dealt with this entire time. My God, dude.
Be pro-Palestine, talk about the genocide, and not be anti-Semitic. And how do you not, run into that? Coming from an ignorant place of someone who's, not Jewish and didn't know about these things. And so, essentially, genuinely, I had so many messages calling me a Nazi, calling me anti-Semitic, but no one telling me why. Even the program from birth, they would say that's anti-Semitic, but I didn't, weren't exactly explaining why they saw that way, or didn't saw that way, but why that was an anti-Semitic trope. And so I was trying to understand it, and it wasn't until literally yesterday I had a great conversation with someone over DMs, and they sent me resources to, the dual loyalty trope, and I read into it, that I was able to understand that aspect. And, of course, someone who's more politically educated than me can debate all of these different intricacies. But for me, when I'm speaking about this, my biggest goal is to, I never want to hurt anyone,
Dude, the fact that she keeps going on these long-winded diatribes is killing me. It's freaking killing me. There's another 50 minutes of this. Lose my mind, bro. This is literally just say that she was a small-time creator who is starting up from the ground zero. Why? I don't know what's been going on for the last year. Was she under a rug? Yes, exactly, Congo. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Has she just been under a rock this entire time? Has she just has she been an ostrich with her head in the sand? Has she just not understood? What is stopping her from educating herself onto what it is that she could be doing to be able to be a voice for these people without being anti-Semitic? Her whole thing, her whole entire freaking thing is that she is like, oh no, I didn't know this. I had to get the video out. I had to do this. I do all this research, but yet you couldn't research the fact that some of the things, some of the wording, some of the phrases you were utilizing are Nazi talking points. My God.
You know, and
you know, I will say, I 100% am with you, right? And I think it's brave that you're calling it and facing all this stuff head on. I don't think most people would do that, right? So
the Kleins, let's be realistic here. If there's one if there's one side here that needs to be getting like praise, it's Ethan and Hila, because they are being so overly generous to this woman and her absolutely defamatory freaking video. They could have really railed on her. They could have literally just buried her into the dirt with all the BS she did. They are being so generous in what they're doing and how they're handling this. I'm not exactly sure I would be able to handle it the same way. I'm literally pissed off for them. Like, I'm losing my shit for them. I don't think I'd be able to be this nice. Like, oh my God, I don't think I'd be able to be this nice. Yeah, she had 2 years. She had 2 years to do research, and all of a sudden she just had to get this video out while it was at the peak of the issue. Not even at the peak of the issue. She made this video after all of this stuff has like died down between her and Hassan and everybody. She tried making a retrospective video on something that has been going on for like 3 to 4 years at this point. And she just was like, well, you know what? A couple weeks of research, that's good enough to be able to speak on something that's been going on for like half a decade at this point. And by half a decade, I mean the issues with Ethan Klein and Hassan and Frogan and all of them. I'm not talking about the Palestinian conflict, because it's literally been hundreds of years.
So I am very grateful that you are coming here and having an honest conversation. And I appreciate the emotion you're showing, right? I do. And I do think I want to just reaffirm that you should be criticizing Israel's government, right? You should be criticizing them for this fucking horrific genocide, mass murder of people in Gaza, right? You should be. It's just, you know, don't make broad generalizations about Jews, like being born with some preconceived notions about the state of Israel and stuff like that, right? Like, don't say that Jews are programmed from birth, but like, you absolutely are right to and should criticize the state of Israel, right? 100%, no question about it. So I mean, your intent. I feel, you know, I understand your intentions, right? I do. And that's kind of like the only way I can.
What's been hard for me, for example, is that I do criticize the government of Israel. We've said many times, when we lived there, I did not vote for Bibi. I'm not a right-wing Israeli, I'm a left-wing. So like, I'm on your camp, you know? But people still villainize me. Like, if you go on TikTok, I'm like the villain. I'm the raider of Ramallah. Mm-hmm. It's like, that is anti-Semitism. You're not seeing me as a person.
Do you see how easy you fell into like anti-Semitic tropes? Like, it's just so easy when you run in these communities, because it's like, for them, that's just, they really are fucking racist. Like, they really are. Like, these snarkers are really genuinely just racist, right? And I mean, you've seen it with the content crash out guy. Like, you see these people like, oh, you do great research, you have all these videos on him, you've done all this, but like, the subtext as a Jewish person looking at that, even just scrolling through the page, it's like, this person does not like Jewish people. You know, and so it's, I find it troubling how easy it is to fall into that these days. And someone like you who has good intentions, who does.
It's funny enough that she accuses him of being, she literally accuses Ethan Klein of being programmed from birth, yet she was programmed to have these talking points. I find that to be just very, very hilarious.
Would never want to, you know, participate in such a thing, can fall victim to these fucking insane narratives that you find on places like Snark.
Again, like, I don't want to talk about anyone else's page or condemn them just because I don't feel comfortable with that, you know?
But you were willing to go ahead and use them as a fucking source. So you don't want to condemn somebody else's content, but you're willing to go ahead and tell them that they do good content, and you're willing to use them as a source. Make it make sense. This woman is she stands for nothing. She stands for absolutely nothing. She's just wanting to go ahead and accept the praise and none of the criticism, even though she constantly is talking about, oh yeah, I concede on this. I concede on that. Like, then freaking, why are you so afraid of making enemies? You were totally afraid of, or you were totally okay with having Ethan Klein an enemy, somebody you made a 3-hour misinformed hit piece, one-sided hit piece on, but you're afraid of having these people who identify as lefties online that aren't in the Hassan, or that aren't in the Ethan camp. You're scared to piss them off. Why? What? Like, is it really that important to you that you're liked by these people who literally just would not care about you if they wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire?
I can, again, and I'm learning about anti-Semitism still, but I can see where I went wrong in my video, and in my original video, I spoke about the, at least, again, I don't want to misquote myself, or anything like that, but I don't deny that there's an increase in anti-Semitism happening, just like there's an increase in Islamophobia happening.
Why do you have to mention Islamophobia whenever you bring up anti-Semitism? Why?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to be like honest on what I see personally happening, but again, this is from my perspective, my algorithm. I do think, there's a huge danger happening. This is, talking about, sorry, I keep moving the mic. Talking about, this kind of fear of echo chambers and how they're getting worse and worse, and these personalized algorithms. I have been getting more and more afraid of my own content, sort of, that I'm in an echo chamber, and that my own content
subreddit is an echo chamber?
Absolutely, yeah. Just like.
So then why'd you source from it? If you're willing to state and recognize that it's an echo chamber, why did you source from it then? That makes no sense. So you're willing to source from an echo chamber and use it as facts? What? How, bro, you're a joke. You're an absolute joke. Your entire channel should be deleted. You're a fucking joke, dude. I can't stand you. I can't stand you. You have no solid standing. You have absolutely no thoughts of your own. All you do is regurgitate popular talking points in an effort to hopefully get in with the cool crowd. Like, I hate you.
Anything, just like to be honest, just like your subreddit as well. I mean, I think that all of those are tailored.
It is an echo chamber. I wouldn't think it's as much as ours. It's not. But the thing is, I don't have I love researching in my, my profile description. And like, if somebody was trying to make a video, and only source it from our subreddit, I would say you need more sources on that.
I would love to do like a compilation of, how much I source from this versus that, and, all of that, because, and maybe that would.
You went live. You went live to show where you sourced your stuff from. And what do you mean you would love to make a compilation to show where you sourced things? You've already did that. What are you talking about? You already did that. You went live for like an hour and a half showing everybody where you sourced your information from. What? I don't understand.
Caused me to reflect on myself, because again, sometimes I'll just go into this rabbit hole and unintentionally that's what will come out. But sorry, my intention was to find online commentary.
Are we crying again? Are we crying again?
No, I've sort of forgot my train of thought. But so my worry is that I'm in an echo chamber as well. So I've been kind of thinking of, covering essentially this like series called Internet Archive, where I go into situations that have happened in the past online, or, influencers.
No, Congo, she didn't even read the Reddit. This is more like you had Reddit read to you. This is more like Reddit was read to her once.
Kind of not influencers of the past, but you get what I mean, where it's not as highly debatable. It's not sort of in the now where you're shoved into, in a certain algorithm or a certain echo chamber. It's sort of like the situations are less debated, essentially, of what's taken place. I feel like that might at least help me, or just people in general, like get out of that a little bit. So that's what I'm hoping to cover sort of moving forward as well. Again, just reflecting on everything. I have been thinking about that for, the past few months in general. But I was thinking, I forgot how that sort of relates into all of this. Sorry, just a random thought.
I was asking how, why is it that?
There's no way she just said that. There's no way she just finished saying all that BS and then turns around and says, sorry, I forgot how everything I just said, it ties into your question.
Everything. I have been thinking about that for, the past few months in general. But I was thinking, I forgot how that sort of relates into all of this. Sorry, just a random.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Everything I just said, like I think it was a response to what you were saying. I just don't know how it was a response. Are you This is like, I don't think you had a point. I honestly don't think you had a point at all. I think you were just going on and on with the whole woe is me BS, and that was it.
Well, I was asking how, why is it that when you talk about anti-Semitism, you feel the need to also mention Islamophobia?
Oh, yeah. So I was going to, so, again, my personal viewpoint and what I've seen, to be honest, I kind of feel like Islamophobia in America particularly, is really bad, especially since. Oh,
that's a fantastic hot take, guys. Islamophobia, bad, very bad. Mucho no bueno. Okay, mucho no bueno. Very, very bad.
9/11 and everything. Obviously, that's
9/11. 9/11. Why are you doing the lowest from Family Guy freaking take? 9/11. I can't.
What happened? That was terrorism. I don't want to say
9/11 was terrorism, y'all. 9/11. If you didn't know, 9/11 bad. 9/11 terrorists did that, bro. Very, very bad. 9/11 bad. I can't with this woman anymore. Like, it's crazy. It's absolute insanity. My goodness. Oh, how is this a real human being? I'm not understanding.
Excuse that wasn't, but I think that a lot of Americans have been really fucked up in terms of being really racist towards Muslims.
She's 26,
Congo. I think historically that's true, but
yeah.
For example, if you go to FBI crime stats for this year, Jews, who make up like 2% of the population, account for like almost 30% of all hate crimes. Like per capita, by far, Jews are the biggest victims of hate crimes by far, right? By far. And again, I don't say that to demean the racism against one other person, but the fact that you can't even mention anti-Semitism without invoking Islamophobia it feels to me when people do that it's like.
It's because she's got the fence up her ass. That's literally what it is. That's the whole reason why she has to mention Islamophobia every time she talks about anti-Semitism, because in her freaking mind, she has to make sure that Jew hate's bad, but there's also Islamophobia. Like. Was she even alive on 9/11? Oh my gosh. That was 2001. She's 26 now. So then it's 25. So yeah, she would have been born. She would have been born in 2001 or in 2000 or 2001. She would have either been just born or 1 year old.
Yeah, it's bad. But also Jews somehow, for some reason, are I also have to mention that people hate Jews, but also, the Jews also kind of, saying that Islamophobia is also a big deal. So let's just be
it's hard.
balanced.
It's like everything is personal perspective, right? I mean, even, literally right before this stream.
No. Not everything is personal perspective. Some things are just a matter of fact, regardless of your personal belief.
I was seeing a ton of videos about Sudan and the what's it called, like satellite images of
the blood
on the streets, and and so it's like, and I think that so many Americans have been completely tuned out to everything that's happening over there, just because we're very focused on what's happening over here. And so and again, like I said, because of my perspective, I'm always going to have a limited worldview, and I have to be extremely cognizant of that. And I think that it's like I think that sometimes running into situations like this where you're introduced to a broader audience who's going to really tell you like it is, sometimes that's okay, because you really learn where your flaws are, and where you need to get better. Obviously the harsher situations that I discussed on this call, wish those didn't happen, but in that process, but also the kinder criticism, the harsher criticism, but that's more valid. I think all of that was really essential in terms of learning and getting better as a content creator.
There's something else I want to show you that I felt was hurtful, and here it is. It's your continued insistence that I'm paranoid, that people are out to get me.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you for bringing this up. Holy crap. She implies that he is just this paranoid little Jew who thinks everybody's out to get him. Everyone's out to get you, Ethan. Wake up, Ethan. Wake up.
You say simultaneously while editing out a swastika hilt brandished by Idoes, my former friend. So how is that paranoid? Right, like you say, paranoid implies.
Yeah. So
once again, this is another trope that, you see anti-Semitism everywhere, but actually you're hallucinating, which is something that iDubbbz and Hassan have both lectured me on. Non-Jews, white dudes, white cis dudes, lecturing marginalized voices on how they should feel about the racism and the shit that they're facing. Right?
Yep.
How can you say I'm being paranoid while also acknowledging the anti-Semitism that I face? It's just, it's very hurtful.
Well, first off, I want to say that sounds like conversations or an argument that is with other individuals, that's.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Not
That sounds like a conversation with somebody else. Bitch, you're the one who said it. You're the one who said it. You're the one who said that he was being paranoid. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's a conversation for somebody else. You said it. You regurgitated these talking points. Own up to it. It's you. Fucking, I can't believe this. You're a bitch. You're an absolute pussy. You're a fucking. I am disgusted that you can vote. I am so disgusted that you have the right to vote. Fuck, you know what? Fuck women's suffrage. Reverse that. I'm joking. I'm fucking joking.
Conversation or argument that I was intending to make. Sorry, I'm getting
about which one?
The sort of the conversations or arguments that you've had with Hassan or iDubbbz or Ian.
Well, you edited out the swastika. Why did you do that?
Yeah, can I say why I did that? So obviously I speak about censorship on YouTube and all of that, but why I edited out the swastika is because I don't agree with it. I talk about how I.
But then how can you accuse
Ian
me of being
takes this video
paranoid?
too far.
Exactly. How can you accuse him of being paranoid when you're literally editing out the one thing that he's responding to that would show he isn't being paranoid? He's literally being attacked by these people. Your whole freaking thing is, he's just being a paranoid man. He's just a little paranoid Jew, man. Little paranoid Jew, man. Like your whole, I don't understand why you think you're like, bro.
I do that in the same breath.
Many times. Here it is.
Because of his ties to Israel, but his decreasing capacity to view the other side.
That was not in the
closing in on him. His paranoia, and all of a sudden, if you weren't with him, you were against him.
Listen, if you disagree with me, you're just not looking.
You're not showing what I'm talking about. It's not even, I'm not just talking about myself. I'm sure I'm talking about somebody specific.
Not in places I am. This is what I see happening. People,
this was right after October 7.
Okay, that I can concede with you in the fact that you're talking about anti-Semitism, and I'm sort of
calling me paranoid.
Again, someone who's
this was right after October 7. That's us talking right after October 7.
Yeah. That being said, I do
that's
think
following the paranoia.
And I'll
do you know what happened on October 7th?
We were living it.
No. She does not. She knows like the like Fox 5 information as to what happened on October 7th. She did it so she would be monetized. Yeah. No. I understand that that's her, like what she's claiming. Oh, I did it so that way I could keep the video monetized. But at the same time, you could literally show it blurred. She completely cut out what he was responding to. It's one thing to be like, yeah, okay, I want this to be, I want it to be freaking monetizable. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to blur out what I have here. That's understandable. She completely cropped out what he was responding to paint a specific narrative.
It's still because my family lives there.
Do you think Hamas do you think Hamas are terrorists?
No.
Yeah, I say that in the video.
Oh wait, yes, that's right. All right, that's an L. That's an L. That's on me. I completely forgot. She did call them a terrorist organization. That's a me bad.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's an important concession. I appreciate that.
But as far as what was I going to say? And that's also my perspective. Again, it feels weird saying my perspective of you as I'm talking to you. But listening to your account of things. You met your wife in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You had your birthright trip when you were speaking about being at sort of having a lot of difficulties in college. I can see the emotional ties that you have, and after
and
having
family
members.
My wife is Israeli. It's really that.
Yeah, and having family members there and everything, and so and so after October 7th, that sort of toll that can take more than people.
You know what happened?
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Congo? This entire freaking live stream here, this whole debate that they're having, she doesn't say sorry at all. It's not the fact that has not said sorry up until this point. It's the fact that she hasn't said sorry at all. And you know what's absolutely crazy? She literally did an apology video that we watched. We all watched it. Never said sorry. Like her only sorry was to the people. Like it was her sorry of like, oh, I'm sorry, I should have done better research, or oh, I'm sorry, I should have taken longer time. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that. Not I'm sorry, I implied that you and your wife are pedophiles. Not I'm sorry that I went ahead and freaking I talked about something I knew nothing about, and I put out misinformation about you and your company. None of that. Just, I'm sorry, guys. I got some things wrong. Oopsie whoopsie. Oopsie doopsie whoopsie. You know, like all she did was back up into the garage or something. Like it's crazy. She has no morals. No morals whatsoever.
Removed from the situation.
You know what happened? It was the middle of the night, and I heard Hila on her phone. She was listening to Israeli news stations. Families were calling into the news stations live from their shelters, begging for help as they were being burned alive in their houses with their children, and nobody could help them. They were actually in their safe rooms, being murdered in front of their children, being burned alive. You know what I mean? Being fucking slaughtered in front of their children, losing limbs. This was happening live.
There were things being live streamed. Like
they were calling into news.
Being murdered, live streamed.
Oh yeah, did you know that Hamas members would slaughter? They would slaughter people and then post it on their. They take their phone and post it on their Facebook page, their dead body. But all this was happening live, and nobody was there to help them, right? So we were just listening. It was like a whole day. We were just listening to people calling into the news, begging for help shortly before being executed.
Girls at the Nova were calling while they're hiding in a bush, whispering, and then nobody came because everybody's been slaughtered.
And they've made a docu-series about this, about the October 7th massacre. They've literally have made a docu-series about this. I'm not going to sit here and be like, act like I know what I'm talking, like know everything about this. But at the same time, this chick, she 100% has no idea what she got herself into. I don't know why she thought she could go ahead and cover a conflict that's been going on for hundreds of years at this point, with only doing like, maybe I'll be generous here, a month's worth of quote unquote research.
Everybody's been killed. The reason why this has become such a, like, we became the villain, all we're asking is for people to understand that the Israeli civilians are also innocent. Just care about the Israelis. Just say that rapes happened. Like, it's a way to acknowledge that there are victims in Israel too. That is all we're asking for. I'm not a representative of Bibi. I'm not Israel government.
And that's what I said. That's literally what I said yesterday. The whole issue between them and Hassan is the fact that they believe that Israel has the right to exist. Like, that's like their massive issue with Hassan. Like, that's the massive difference between the two of them. Yeah, even Ethan said, where is the sorry? All she did was a bad edit. Yes, exactly. Because that's my thing too. Like, where's the legitimate apology? I don't give a damn that you did, yeah, you can apologize for doing bad edits. You can apologize for anti-Semitic undertones that you knew nothing about. You can apologize for all this stuff. How about you apologize for calling me and my wife pedophiles? How about you apologize for insinuating that I abuse my employees? How about you apologize for platforming people who've called CPS to my house? Like, they come on, dude.
It's just insane.
It feels bad, right? It feels bad.
I mean, of course. I think that the hardest thing is, as I've spoken about in the video, my brother passed on October 3rd. So when all of this was happening,
my God,
it was
that's horrible. I'm sorry.
To be honest, I was completely...
Bitch, your brother died 2 years ago. Sorry, not sorry. Get the fuck over it. Okay. If him dying 2 years ago is if the fact that he died on the 3rd is what's making you have do terrible research 2 years later, like, I'm sorry, maybe you just shouldn't be, I don't know, covering this. Like him dying 2 years ago, it's not an excuse for a terrible coverage.
It's fine, you know, but you know, it was a sort of weird thing where he drowned in Hawaii.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
That's awful.
That's awful.
It's fine, but you know, it's like he was 20 years old.
Brother, this guy stinks.
It's just like, so anyways, not to distract from all that conversation, but just to say, like,
I can understand you were distracted, yeah.
Nah, Ethan, you're being way too generous, man. You're being way too fucking generous to this bitch, dude. Oh my god, I would have. There is. I would literally be like, yeah, that's unfortunate, and like that sucks and all that. But like, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? Like, seriously, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? Like, that sucks. I apologize that happened. That's a very unfortunate situation. But what does it have to do with this situation 2 years later? And like, what? How is him dying 2 years ago making you create a terrible freaking video?
So, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, to be honest, like you can see in my content, I lost like 30 pounds from like grief and everything. And sorry.
Oh my God!
It was just weird. It was
the
like this tunnel of grief and everything. But
guys, I was in so much pain. I lost weight. This woman has spent so much fucking time talking about herself, talking about her dead brother, talking about her goddamn like husband being in the army. Like, bitch, let him rest in peace. You got 7 Dragon Balls to bring him back? No? Okay, then stop bringing his name up. Stop invoking his death. Let that man rest in peace. Holy crap.
But I still kind of kept going with like just the bare thing, like basics of like function in terms of like, you know, what I needed to do to, you know, be there for my kid, for my family, just all of that. And yeah, and so kind of coming back and seeing everything that had happened, you know, in Palestine, Israel, just everything that was taking place. Obviously, you know, I heard about October 7th, but the picture that I see is different. You know, it's changed. And obviously Free Palestine is a huge movement at that point. And I can empathize as to why by that point. I see Palestinians getting slaughtered and I see streets getting leveled. And, you know, you know, it's that's sort of the perspective that I had coming into it. And, you know, and then you see these videos that are just horrific, you know, of a toddler just the same age as my kid, you know, and being dead on the street. And so, you know, it's like.
Yeah, but he has kids too. And you didn't take that into account when you were accusing him of being a pedophile. Like, what? Like, I'm sorry. Are we supposed to just turn around and be like, oh, that's unfortunate. Boo. Like, oh, all criticism gone. All criticism is now gone because she has children and she saw dead kids on the internet. Like, what? I don't like, I'm like, again, sorry, not sorry. I don't fucking care. That's not an excuse for you to make such a terrible video.
Like, again, this is a thing that war is just the most fucked up thing. And I wasn't raised in a religion where I can, you know, where I understand.
Oh my God, not the religion thing again.
War is just the most fucked up thing. And I wasn't raised in a religion where I can, you know, where I understand that sort of historical context, you know, behind it. And I also don't have you know, a tie to any sort of, you know.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
Well, that was unfortunate. That was a very, very unfortunate that the internet decided to die right then and there. Right then and there. Fantabulistic. Oh, man. Whatever. I guess I will finish this live stream even if I got nobody to do it. And then
any situation. And so I'm trying to navigate it, but you know, that's my perspective behind all of it.
And I think the problem or the frustration is that we agree, right? That the images coming out of there are unbearable. It's just so tragic. Yeah. It's such a you can't even fathom the scale of life.
It wasn't bad internet, Neon. It had a lag spike. Listen, I don't know how it went down. I'm so annoyed. Yeah, I'm so annoyed. It went on for like 5 hours, like freaking 5 hours, and then all of a sudden, boop, dee doop.
Lost and suffering and tragedy that's taken place in there, right? And this is not like Hamas. These are just like fucking regular people, and it tears me up too. I feel the same pain. I do.
I saw that clip of you, crying over, I think it was a father and his son, and being a father as well. And I empathize with you there.
I can't watch it because it's so devastating. It's so devastating to see that stuff. And I guess it's just when I go all over the internet and everybody's calling me a Zionist, right? And everybody's saying, you support genocide, you want to kill babies. I mean, it's just not true. And it's just such an awful thing to say about somebody, and how am I not supposed to feel like prejudiced against when that's the conclusion? When I've been saying the opposite since before October 7th, right? But there's,
so I guess,
there's no justification.
Perspective-wise, what's your, generally, we're having this conversation and everything. What's your outlook on everything that's happening? How do you see things going? Again, I don't know shit, but you've been covering it more than.
What's crazy is that she's claimed up until this point that she has done all this research, and she doesn't even know what his opinion is. She doesn't even know what his thoughts are on the whole Palestinian conflict. Yeah, middle of the day, Net just said no for 5 minutes. Yeah, you know what? It happens. It happens. It is what it is. We roll with the punches, but at least it came up really fast.
To me, I'd like to hear kind of.
It's a fucking insane quagmire. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
The best outcome I see is Hamas leaving, right? And then a joint effort from Arab countries, America, Europe, who are willing to invest a shitload of money in rebuilding the infrastructure, bringing it back into a place that
can prosper.
That's respectful. Yeah, could prosper and respectable. Rebuild it in a beautiful place, not a hotel for Trump, obviously. This could be by the UN, by the Arab League involved in making decisions in terms of what's the best way to rebuild Gaza. That's the best way I see it. But honestly, there's no good solution. What do you think should
happen to the Palestinian people?
They should be free. They should get their own state. They should be free. Absolutely. Right? Yeah. I mean, there's no question about it.
I wish for them that they wouldn't have to live under Hamas because they don't care for them. I wish that they can be free people.
And it's crazy. It's crazy. She made that super long monetized video that I guarantee you netted her easily $10,000 or maybe $5,000 to $10,000. And yet she doesn't even know that he believes the Palestinian people deserve to be free and live without oppression. That's how you know she didn't do this research herself. Maybe some of it she did, maybe some of it she did. I'll give her that. But if you don't even know the fact that Ethan is believes that the Palestinian people deserve to be free and deserve to not have be oppressed, that you how much research did you really do? It's literally the entire I just don't understand.
And prosper.
And by the way, these settlers taking land in the West Bank and the government co-signing that is, I have trouble expressing how vile these people are. I'll say this. I've said this before, and I'll just say it again. So for the record, I've said that West Bank settlers are valid military targets, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. I mean, that was.
She has no idea what that means. She has no freaking clue what that means, that West Bank settlers are valid military targets. I guarantee you. I seriously wish that Ethan had turned around and asked her the same question. What's your thoughts on this? Where do you stand? What do you believe? What do you think is a valid military target? Oh my gosh, Ethan is... For all the shit she tried to fling on Ethan's name, he is being so incredibly generous and nice to her when he really, truly does not have to be.
Something that I thought was a really fascinating, again, limited, understanding. I did really like listening to the Throughline podcast, and that was one episode on settlements that I found really interesting. Again,
they're just evil. I mean, these people are just evil. They're just like Hamas, but for fucking Jewish supremacy, right? That's what they're doing. It's just evil. So and I've always had that. It's funny, if you go back to these 15-year-old accounts that everybody calls me a pedophile for, there's comments in that account of me saying I don't support West Bank settlers and that I believe in Palestinian statehood and these are opinions that I've been expressing consistently since the beginning of any footprint I have on the internet.
But she wouldn't know that.
So it's just been a wild thing, man, to see how I've been treated in the wake of all this happening. And it was in a private account too that I never thought anybody would ever read. I had no reason to ever exaggerate my support for Palestine, which is what people accuse me of, by the way. They just say I'm lying. It's there's no winning, right? There's no winning.
Yep.
And this, this is the kind of what.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I feel like in some of this situation, maybe I feel like that's, some of my statements have been taken that way too, and I think,
No. You don't get to say, yeah, me too. You don't get to me too this, man. You don't get to turn around and be like, yeah, I think some of my statements have been taken out of context as well. You had the ability to do your research for these statements. You chose not to. Like that's your issue. That's nobody else's problem but yours.
It's like, there's a middle ground, there's people where that happens on the really extreme end. There's people that are treated really well online and are just beloved by everyone. And then there's sort of a middle ground where it's like being online, sometimes just what you say is going to be taken out of context. I do think, again, this is just my personal opinion. Take it as you may. Sometimes the more you, engage with that, sometimes the worse it can get, the more attention you bring to it, the more it happens, etc. That's my personal opinion.
This is on a scale that you can't even imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, how in the world are you trying to tell Ethan that? Like, you're trying to explain to him that, like, oh yeah, you can definitely get hate online. You would crumble. You're literally crying and crumbling over freaking comments, over mean comments on the internet. There's no way you'd be able to handle what Ethan did or what Ethan had to deal with. I don't know why she's trying to Me Too this right now. That's literally like an incredibly disrespectful thing to be doing. I'm not exactly sure why she thinks that she's like in the same realm as him.
You see it on Twitter. You see it on Reddit.
Privilege.
You see it on FOMOI, by the way. There's crossover between FOMOI and H3 Snarkers. Same mods. Same mods, right? And this is a fucking subreddit supposed to talk about like popular media celebrities, and they're posting about me all fucking day, saying I'm pro-genocide with 30,000 points on the front page of Reddit, right? Like this isn't a situation where I can ignore it and just go on with my life, unfortunately.
And don't get me wrong, some of this might be my privilege as well, as a content creator. I was again, I've had some incredible conversations with various content creators over the past week, and a lot of it's been really enlightening in terms of just lessons learned, and one of which was a Black woman who's been speaking with me about just over.
Oh no! Don't tell me iDubbbz put you in touch with the same Black with the same Black creator. Don't tell me that, please. There's no way, dude.
Her years as a content creator, the amount of harassment she's gotten, in terms of just, one day she'll lose 5,000 subscribers, the amount of, people calling her slurs and messages and comments. And it's like, oh my gosh, honestly, that's not something that I've had to face in the scope of my
and just to
career.
Kind of to try to make it tangible for you, you co-signed a TikTok account that compared Hila's Star David tattoo to a pentagram.
Yes. Don't let her off the hook. Don't take her foot off her neck, Ethan. Tell her exactly. Yeah. Equate it to this dumb stuff that she did. 100%. Don't let her get away with doing this. No way, dude. She deserves all the criticism.
No, and that, again, something, I'll look into moving forward is the full scope of, someone's account. That being said, like I said,
did you know you sourced content crash out 9 different times? That's like a significant amount of times. 9
times. It is an incredibly.
How many clips in total do I have on the channel?
I'm sure it's a lot, but my point is that 9 times is a significant amount of times
some of
to source.
Also, like, my question would be for that, is that like the same, because for example, in the intro, I can sometimes like, oh, here's what's to come, so I might clip something and then that'll be the same clip that's used later on. Is that, counted?
I'm not sure how it was counted. So honestly, we've been talking for a long time and I'm very grateful for your time. There's one more thing I want to watch and then we can kind of just wrap
That being said, I do want to say too, we were going to mention the content cop, where I do mention, I kind of say, to be fair, I definitely think iDubbbz's approach, claiming to be a concerned friend who recently learned the concept of empathy while dancing around in a goofy way, it definitely sends mixed messaging.
Mixed messaging? Is that what it sends? It sends mixed messaging? Are you you are, oh, I hate you. You're so brain dead. You're brain dead to the umpth degree. You can't even call it concern trolling. It's mixed messages.
I mean, that's like,
Yeah,
that's an attempt at being biased. I think that's an extraordinarily understatement. I mean, from my perspective.
Yeah, but we were talking about.
But yeah, you're making an attempt,
or kind of seeing your side.
No, I appreciate you said that. That was good that you said that. I appreciate that.
I want to interject and say that, yeah, because again,
please notice me. Notice where I went ahead and I said this one thing against somebody who's helping to perpetuate the stereotype that you're on drugs. Please notice the fact that I said that it was mean of him to claim to be your friend and then dance around doing the Fortnite L dance and with all of your greatest haters. Please notice that I did that. Like, give me my props. Oh, I hate this girl.
I appreciate that.
This idea that I never reached out and tried to see your side or your perspective. There's certainly times that I did that.
Yeah.
You didn't reach out though. You didn't reach out.
I agree in that case that was good. So I just want to watch this one more thing.
Ethan streamed an episode stating a child welfare visit was called in from people who worked at his house. He then blamed anonymous users for the call with manipulated evidence. So let's talk about
manipulated evidence. Yep, I knew he was going to go after this too. I mean, I've watched this already, but still.
Manipulated evidence. What is that?
Oh, CPS.
You didn't show anything.
Yeah, let me go to the actual.
I know what you're
source.
talking about, but you pull up the source, and then we can respond to that.
Yeah,
you're referring to that clip of Denims talking about it.
Okay, what chapter is that? Sorry, let me.
Oh, I'm just referencing. I'm guessing, right, from my mind. We can wait and pull it up though.
Okay. Sorry, just because it's like 48 pages. Let me. Okay. So this is page 43. I want to say. So I am.
Could someone pass that link?
Mm-hmm. So I think this is where I'm referencing in general the sort of master post from that that snark, and then it goes into
you're referencing a master post from freaking snark, from H3 snark. Okay, but that's not what he's asking you. What he's asking you is what is the fabricated evidence?
The alleged CPS involvement, which is their number 2 on their
well, hold on, you said I used doctored evidence to blame them.
Mm-hmm. So that was on their list. So they
you didn't even bother to reference that or the fact check.
But I should make that really clear. So then I go into right after that. I have a post from the Tribune that goes into the CPS and the schools and everything. So,
but do you see how you're setting the audience expectations when you go?
Users for the call with
but yes, exactly. You're saying that he used manipulated evidence, and you're not showing them the supposed manipulated evidence. He's asking you, "What's the manipulated evidence?" Your response, I found a source that said that was the thing, and then I found this other source talking about CPS. Cool, fantastic. What manipulated evidence did he use?
Manipulated evidence.
I mean, the expectation you're setting for the audience already is that I'm somehow acting in bad faith in this whole thing, right?
I could see how I could structure it differently. Essentially,
structure it differently, bitch. What do you mean structure it differently? You said something. You didn't back it up. You just threw it out there. Like go play this incorrect freaking assertion that Ethan Klein manipulated evidence to prop up his claim of having CPS called against him. What do you mean? What do you mean? I could have worded it differently. Maybe instead of saying manipulated, I'll say fabricated next time.
I was doing with that is, if you kind of zoom out a little bit further, I'm reading from this Reddit master post about their, concerns,
Do you think the audience cares? They make that distinction?
4 different posts. Again, like I said, I could structure it differently. And so this is, number 2 on their, concern list. So this is, kind of quoted directly from them. Again, on screen, how it could be potentially edited differently.
Again. Oh, it's quoted from them. They posted it. They said that they did this, them. Somebody else. That's cool. Fantastic that somebody else said it. You're still not answering the question. What manipulated evidence did he use? Where's this manipulated evidence?
Is again just showing the post itself, and highlighted, showing that this is, a quote from them, not a quote from me. Again, moving forward, scaling down to ensure that what's being shown on screen aligns with that, my intentions. But then afterwards,
just because we're counting, you sourced snark 66 times in the video.
Sourcing snark 66 times should be illegal. She should literally, that's insane. You source snark 66 times in your supposedly very well thought out, well researched video. You source Snark, an anti Ethan Klein freaking subreddit, 66 fucking times.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the amount of, again, how many times is that, just an opinion, that I'm sharing? How many times is that a clip?
Right. My guess is that it's mostly editorialized clips, like probably the vast majority of them.
And compared to how many times there's YouTube videos from your actual videos themselves, I would love to know that information in terms of like,
we can crunch
I would love to.
How do you not know how do you not know that? How do you not know your own information? How are you unaware of how many times you source Snark versus his own videos? What do you mean? What do you mean you would love to know that information? You should have that information.
I would love to, even just for my own criticisms, like, okay, let me actually see those numbers. Because I do think, again, going down these rabbit holes, I can go into online forums and like really look through them and be like, okay, let me include that. That's relevant here. Let me include that. And that's not, again, like I said, moving forward, I won't be doing that method. I'll be okay. Let me go through the original sources. And then if I want to go into online forums and provide.
This is absolute insanity. Absolute freaking insanity. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, why? Why is this a thing right now? Why are we pretending like this is some sort of why are you pretending like all of a sudden you don't know what your own freaking you're unaware of what your own freaking thing is? How do you not know what you sourced and what you didn't source? Oh my gosh, I don't understand.
Certain opinion pieces, it's after the research is done and my sort of conclusion on the situation is done. Or if I happen to find a clip from an online forum, let me ensure that I can find the original clip so I can see it in its full context, just in case,
So regardless, you say based on this thread from Snark that I've faked evidence, even though you don't know what it is that I faked.
So right after that, so again, that's the Snark quote, but right after that, I go into a article by the Tribune.
Yeah, I'll play that.
At his house.
In the video?
Yeah, and
you then blamed anonymous users for the call with manipulated evidence. So let's talk about CPS being called on Ethan Klein, as stated in this mega thread. In March of 2025, Child Protective Services visited the Klein's home, and Ethan Klein claimed he received skulls in the mail, human skulls.
So they sent us these skulls that are expensive and no one paid for them. And then we're like, well, I'm keeping them because I want them for evidence in case I ever need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And then they start calling us after a month, like begging us to return the skulls.
We found at first we were just kind of like, are these people serious? And also we weren't sure if the FBI was going to like ask for it for evidence or whatever.
The situation began in early March when CPS arrived after an anonymous tip claimed his child was crawling around and eating dog feces. Ethan Klein claimed that this claim has come from streamers who had spread the rumor that Ethan Klein's children had contracted Giardia. Then, around that time, the family received 2 unidentified human skulls, allegedly by mail, which prompted an FBI investigation. And of course, probably does not help with Ethan Klein's paranoia that people are out to get him.
The paranoia.
Again, paranoia. Yes. Again, paranoia. And she's all giggles about it. She's just straight giggles. She's like, yeah, I totally did say that. Like, I totally did say that you're paranoid. Tee-hee. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Aren't I just a stinker? Aren't I just a stinker for implying that you're paranoid? Oh my God.
I got a human skulls in the mail. I mean, can you really?
Again,
CPS come to my house. I got human skulls. I mean, at what point do we stop calling me paranoid?
And also, again, to be honest, with the people finding my aunt's photo, which by the way, also girl with a microphone apparently tweeted asking an AI. Let me find the actual tweet, so I don't again misquote it. Asking Grok if I was homeschooled, and then like they brought up random Madison Harnish and what high school they go to,
Grok
and then she asked Madison Harnish, aka Cruel World Happy Mind, was she homeschooled? And then they say, got it. You mean the YouTuber Madison Harnish is Cruel World Happy Mind? After checking bios, videos, and searches, I found no info indicating she was homeschooled. Her education background isn't publicly detailed. If that's wrong, point me to a source. Like trying to.
Who cares? Who cares though? Like, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that people were doing this to you, but like, what does this have to do with your inability to do any sort of research, or for you constantly saying that freaking that Ethan is paranoid? And like, what does that have to do with anything?
To find my schooling information.
To be fair, I don't think that's what she was trying to do. I think she was just trying to find out if you were homeschooled.
Yeah, you know how it kind of looks though.
But like you would type something like that into. I know what you're saying, and I don't want to go anywhere close to doxing. I know she's thoughtful with her the way she conducts herself though. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't her intention.
Yeah, it looks a little, it rubs me the wrong way, to be honest.
I can understand why that would rub you the wrong way. Yeah.
But yeah, so some of those things, my aunt's photos being dug through, stuff like that. People trying to find information about my husband. It's like, I totally, I've been more paranoid in this past week than I've been in my entire life. So I understand that feeling. Again,
By the way, the homeschool thing, maybe it sounds weird to you. There's kind of like a joke that we do on the show where we go, like the last two people I've beefed with, quote unquote, were all homeschooled. So it kind of turned into a joke, like, is this person homeschooled? So I think she was tapping into that.
To be completely transparent, I grew up doing like really, really intense ballet. I was like, basically like dancing 6 hours a day. So I did online school, dual school. So, I don't know if that applies,
So she was
it was like one of the first, programs in my area that like had online school.
Yeah, I think it's
where I met my husband. So,
You met your husband at homeschool?
Well, so we actually met in middle school. And I thought he was super interesting because he would like ride his bike every day. And it was in Orange County where like, everyone has like their moms drive them to school in Escalades, and he would ride his bike every day. And I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It turns out he would ride his bike 9 miles every day to school and back. And then, we both ended up being the only two to graduate high school from our dual online school program.
Oh my God.
Very, successful program, it seems like.
Look at you two, born natural partners.
And so, or just,
they deserve each other.
Ones that knew how to like use Google on test online school. No, I'm kidding. But I'm kidding. Don't take away my online degree. That's very important to me. But anyways, that's how we met, and we went to online school for very different reasons. I was a ballet dancer, and his is his own personal story.
You might get comfort in this, but the current debate happening in our community is which stain is more annoying, the one on your sofa or the one on my hat? And I'll tell you guys, defend myself a little bit. The one on my hat is from.
I honestly don't think I could be this nice with this person. Ethan, you are you're a different breed, brother. You are a different breed. I'm not entirely sure that I could just sit around and be cool with somebody who's done this much harm to like my name. I just or attempted, I should say, to do this much harm to my name.
What is it?
What is it from?
Show it to me.
Yeah.
Something to do with the kids.
I'll tell you.
Yours
is a lot more annoying, Ethan.
It is?
Yeah, because I can't even see hers.
Someone bring me a
anymore.
replacement hat. You guys were fucking harping on her stain, and I'm the one sitting here looking like Mr. Stain.
I didn't even notice your stain. I was staring at your stain.
Yeah, I didn't mind
Thank you, Tamara. Legend.
I didn't notice your stain until this point, until you just pointed it out.
You saw it the whole time.
I didn't notice anything.
You were plotting on me the whole time. No, what is that red from?
Oh, it's from the clown makeup.
Oh, the
It's from
clown
Friday.
makeup that you graciously used in your thumbnail.
I'll be honest, I have no idea where my stain came from. So
Well, it was
probably worse.
Yes, true. Who knows? It could be from anything. Listen,
But,
there's.
what was I going to say? I totally forgot what we were talking. Oh yeah, so as far as like the paranoia thing went, I mean, literally, I just was trying to. I mean, again, I hope I'm not overstepping here. I don't think it's healthy for you to be getting into these online beefs and to be going down these,
You think he chooses this? Like, do you think, like, honestly, do you think he chooses to be in these online beefs? Like, it sounds like she's turning around and saying, like, you should just stand down. Just stand down and you'll be good. I don't know, like, what's the problem here? Like, fucking Christ.
Rabbit holes with different people, because I felt that myself, genuinely, within this past week. I felt like, this is a very dark
Listen,
corner of the
is Coke
internet.
Zero healthy? No, but I drink 10 of them a day.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm just being silly.
And that's,
I don't
that's
actually,
just,
for
like,
the record, drink 10 a day. Okay?
Yeah. I mean,
One, two,
six.
Not six.
I used to drink like 3 yerba mates a day, those like energy drinks. So, but yeah, what was I going to say? I mean, genuinely, that's the thing. It feels like a very dark, corner where it's like the more you get involved with these situations, it's like the more it brings out like these different, situations and darkness and people. Oops, sorry. And then it sort of like ruins your like faith in humanity a little bit. I'm not saying you specifically, I'm just saying like in general, know, and I think right now, like the world is so. Now here I'm gonna, this is gonna sound like the stupidest statement ever. The world is so fucked up. Like obviously it is. But like. Yeah, that like, oh my gosh, these situations. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
What are you even saying? What are you even saying? That the world is a bad place? That like the freaking that it's bad out there? That the world it's difficult out there? Yeah, agree. You're literally like helping with that though. You're a proponent of that. You're going after him and attacking him unprovoked with misinformation, and yet you want to turn around and talk about singing Kumbaya?
I do genuinely wish that one day you're able to escape from all of this and not have all of this happening in your life, and have segments that are just like podcasts that are. I mean, again, I'm not a regular watcher of your podcast. You totally probably fully do this, no. But the podcast shows that are just entirely lighthearted, where none of this is happening.
I know. Honestly, we would love that too. This isn't like fun for us either.
And the thing is, like, I used to be of the mind that like ignoring it is better, and I'd say for most people that's true. The first time that wasn't working was ironically the FUPA fund thing. Keemstar was spreading this malicious lie that I stole money to the point where it was just becoming bigger and bigger, not quieter and quieter. It forced me to make a video responding. And from that response, I killed the thing entirely. And this kind of similar thing's been happening, although I have the shitstorm is proven much more persistent than the FUPA shit. But it's kind of just been the same way where it's like after Leftovers collapsed, it's just been a torrent of fucking horrific shit, and it's gotten like more severe and more strong, and to the point where it begs a response. And
I mean, I felt that way, you know, like when all of this happened and like, oh, I need to make a response, and then, you know, you made your response for that, and so it's like, oh, and I agree with Dan, I should not have done a one take. I should have, you know, ensured that it was, you know, perfectly polished, you know, that was, you know, in general irresponsible. I think I wanted to feel this sense of authenticity, but again, a lot of my, you know, ignorance showed through in that. But I think, you know, and then from that I was like, oh, I need to do a stream to clarify this and to show where I agree and all of that, and then, you know, things get worse from there, and so it's like I guess that's a struggle in general when it comes to content creation. Is when, you know, some of this happens, do you sorry, I have the hiccups now. Do you respond? Do you let it lie? You know, how do you?
Depending on the situation, yeah, you can respond. You can respond. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem here, again, is that oh my gosh, this woman's never gonna understand. I don't know what it is about her. She's just not gonna understand. It's not about responding. You're still failing to grasp the fact that you are calling this dude freaking paranoid. And it's what he's paranoid because he had CPS called on him. He's paranoid because people send human skulls to his house. He's paranoid because people have come together to go after him and his family. Like, you're still failing to grasp all of this.
To what level do you, you know, because I think that, you know, going down endless rabbit holes, it's like you can't find your way back up sometimes. And that was my kind of perspective on that. And again, I'm sorry if I didn't clarify it fully or it didn't come through. I think that also, you know, when it comes to making content, I have to have that mind of like the people that are the subject of the videos are they will likely, maybe not, but likely, I just kind of assume they're probably not going to watch the video, but I need to assume that they might watch it.
They'll watch it.
They'll probably
should assume they'll watch it.
Yeah. They'll probably watch it.
I think I still have that in my mind that I'm just
but
like
even if they don't,
small
people,
content creator.
It still matters because people are watching it in this ecosystem, and shit that you say, people are going to believe. I saw a lot of people being like, you're a trusted source for them, and whatever you put in your videos, they believe. So like, it doesn't really even matter if I watched it or not, right? Because if there is, anyway, listen, there's two things I want to hit on before we go. One, about the skulls and CPS. These are factually backed up. In our public filing right now of the lawsuit, you can see it's public filing. The conversation we had with the Skull Company and the report from CPS saying that the call was unfounded. These are all part of the public record. I can even send you a link. The second thing, and most important thing I want to say to you before we leave is, you know goddamn well that Hassan Piker shocked his dog.
No comment on that one. I'm so sorry.
Of course.
Zapped his poodle. Now listen, I'm not saying he should get his dog taken away or anything crazy like that, but I mean, he definitely, you know.
Please.
You know, it's so funny because in my initial video, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna hate me for this. I'm so sorry to end the video on a bad note. Okay, in my initial video, I totally conceded with this, where I'm like, yeah, the clips don't look good, and you know, yeah, you know, and he changed his story a lot. And then as time went on, I'm kind of like, well, you know, it just over a long period of time of constantly having the dog in screen, you would think that there would be far more examples of.
Oh, come on. There's no way you could literally, how do you say this stuff with a straight face? You know, just because he didn't get caught before, guys, he didn't get caught before. So obviously, you know, it just doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't he have been caught previously? Come on.
Of that happening.
There's a ton.
There's a lot.
Dude, there's so many.
You clearly see him reaching for the remote.
Give me 5 minutes.
And then her react. Like,
hold on, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to convert you.
That's why this has lasted so long. It's because he's obviously lying and everybody's saying it. And it's just, that's why this topic has been so fascinating to so many people.
That thing is, it really depends on what communities you run in. Because there are very pro-Hassan communities who are like, he didn't do it. There's no way. We're all bullshit. And other communities, which are hostile to Hassan, my community, for example, is one of them. They'll post a shitload of evidence, man. Hold on, I got to find, there's like, I'm not forcing you to make a decision one way or the other, but I do want to arm you with the most important weapon of all, information.
Please.
Don't talk to her like that, Hassan.
No.
Sorry. It's rude. I'm waiting for the link.
This whole
all right, we can skip.
If you want to find the evidence, it's there.
Yeah, it's okay. We've been here for a long time.
I really appreciate you calling in and, you know, facing this head on. I'm very grateful. I think you've been open-minded and sensitive to everything, which I'm grateful for. And so I'm just appreciative for your time and for you speaking openly about this, which most people would not do, right? So I think that speaks to high character that you're willing to do this.
Thank you.
And also,
thank you for speaking with me too, and being,
Okay, we're done. We're done with this. We're so done with this. Thank God. Oh, I can't. It's insane how how nice they were to her. Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully she actually learns from this and she turns around and does what she said she's going to do and just sticks to not doing this drama stuff anymore, not engaging in this drama, not moving around in these spaces that she knows absolutely nothing about. But time will only tell. We'll see if she's actually learned from her mistake or not. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Goodbye.